Now you should see this. Yes. So there should be 2 assignments because one is for tomorrow. That's going to be your first benchmark. But underneath the midterm review semester 1 module, which is where I'll put all the stuff for review, you should see 2 assignments as of now. So the first one is the overall description of what this assignment / project, whatever we want to call it, is. Okay. And this is where you're submitting your final thing. So do not submit the benchmark to this. You have to, otherwise you won't have the reminder that you have to submit the final thing. It says it like in purple at the top. It says do not submit to this until you're completely done. And we talked about this a little bit, but I'm going to go over it again. You can choose to work with a partner in a group of 3 or on your own to create review questions based on the AP content we've covered in units 1 and 2. If you are doing this individually, you're responsible for 5 review questions and their solutions. If you're working with a partner, it is 10. And if it's a group of 3, you are responsible for 15. So the benefit to working with each other, I would say, is to be able to make sure that we're working, like you check my 5 questions, I'll check your 5 questions. But the work should be pretty much the same. The final submission is going to include a PDF of the questions indicating which unit or section they come from. And then if a calculator is required or not. And then a duplicate of that. So if you're doing this, let's just say you're doing it in Notability, because I don't care if it's handwritten as long as it's neat and legible, okay? But if you duplicate that page or however many pages it is, then you should also have the solutions to it. So 1 blank, as if you were handing it out, 1 with the solutions. The weight of this grade is going to be a quiz grade. This will be the 3rd quiz grade of the quarter. And then the scoring of the submission is based on the level of difficulty and correctness of your answers. So if it is like I don't mean AP style as in they have to be AP classroom level, but they at least have to have been test worthy. Okay, so not like the easy questions that you never even saw again because they were like building up to something. But the questions that were like test worthy questions, if they are done that level and correct, then that's 100. Okay, this should be pretty transparent. The units that you're selecting from, I think I didn't do C, but it should be unit 1A, 1B, 2A, 2B, and 2C. And I put all the old reviews on here. So I'm going to put this in writing because I didn't do it yet, but I want to make sure this is really clear. You cannot use ones that are already on here. You have to alter them in some way, okay? And I will offer a bonus on this as well if you create an interactive review on the same topic. So if you find or create a Kahoot or a quizzes or something, like if it's a log-based thing and you find a booklet, something that would help prepare for that type of question, okay? I'll give bonus points on top of this quiz grade. I'll add that like on the bottom. And then the entire thing is going to be due at the end of class on Friday. So you have today, tomorrow, and then Friday in class, but we are on a math schedule, so it's short, to keep that in mind. You'll turn that in at the end of the class period on Friday. Tomorrow, at the end of class, you have to turn in some work, whether it's the questions without the answers yet, or it's some of the questions with some of the answers. There has to be some legitimate amount of work done tomorrow. Like I would say 3 of your 5 should be done tomorrow, and then that leaves maybe just finishing up those last 2. Or all of the questions need to be done tomorrow, and then the answers need to be turned in on Friday, something like that, okay? Questions for me?